Lorendo.
Lorendo, okay. This is Zen Garcia with EndeavorFreedom.tv, and I'm here with Cheryl Lorendo of People First of Georgia, and she's going to talk to us about her efforts in getting businesses to comply with ADA regulations and also to address their accessibility and accommodation needs.
Okay. My favorite story happened a while back, but when I first got involved with the disability community, the high-rise I was living in had no stores around except for a little convenience store about 2 blocks down, but it wasn't accessible. So thanks to the things I learned from people in Atlanta about ADA, I made a point to go down to the little convenience store every day for 2 weeks. I would get somebody coming in and say, would you please ask the manager to come out here? And I would think up some little something I had to ask them to go and get for me. And whenever they would bring it to me, I'd say, well, is this the only choice? Let me see another one, you know. Anyway, within 2 weeks, we had curb cut.
Yes.
So I was able to
Awesome.
go in the store by myself.
Awesome.
And really, you know, if everybody just took on their own neighborhood
Right, right.
and made it accessible.
Then yeah, all neighborhoods would be.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do have some pet peeves, though. I know I heard somebody earlier talking about stores that are too cluttered and you can't get around in them
Right.
because, you know, that
we
is...
do need to turn around at some point.
Well, it is an ADA regulation,
Yes.
how wide the aisles must be,
Right.
without things to knock them over. And the first few times I knocked things over, I got all upset. Now I don't get upset.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't supposed to be there, they weren't
That's
supposed to be
right.
there. I try to be careful.
Yeah, but if you can't.
You can't, you can't. They have to go pick it up. But one of the things that has bothered me the most lately, especially when I go to a grocery store or someplace like Target or something, I'm very independent. And I always ask the cashier to let me bag my own stuff. Because it's easier for me to bag it, since I have to carry it all on my chair,
Right.
than to tell every clerk every time I go somewhere how to do it.
Right, right.
And anyway, for last year or so, I've had the biggest problem with strangers in line wanting to come grab my stuff. It pisses me off. The thing is, if they tried that with somebody standing up face to face with them, they'd dump them on their butt. You know? And I don't appreciate it. And I know people want to get all upset and say, well, I was trying to help. Well, no. Helping is when you ask the person if they want your help and then take the answer they give you.
That's right.
Because with most people, if they're not asking for help, it's because they don't want somebody bugging them. You know? And most people, if they do need help, know how to ask for it.
Right, exactly.
And I understand, because I like to help people too. I do it day in and day out, all day long. But I ask even other people with disabilities, I'm going to ask them first if they want me to help them with something. Because not everybody wants you to.
Right.
And I'm one of them.
Right, right.
But there are a lot of pet peeves that all of us have. But I'm going to tell you about one that this doesn't necessarily have to do with a store per se. But back in 2006, I got run over in my wheelchair. And my pelvis was busted from one end to the other.
Oh my God.
I ended up in a nursing home for a while.
Oh my God.
And when I hit the pavement, and all I can tell you is my angels pushed me out of the chair. Because when I hit the pavement and turned and looked, the front wheel of that car was sitting where I am and had squished my chair down to that high.
Oh my goodness.
In fact, my vendor keeps that chair to show people.
Wow.
The thing is, now, when I go places, and I'm going to cross the street or cross a driveway or something, I wait until the cars are gone and out of my way, you know? And I've had drivers who want to get mad at me because they have stopped for me to go, and I'm saying no, because they're looking at me. They're not looking at all the cars around them that got impatient because they
Right.
stopped and they're fixing to swerve around. They can't see me over that person's car.
Right.
That's how I got hit.
Yes.
The lady stopped for
Oh
me.
my goodness.
I knew better, but I was in a hurry to catch the bus.
Uh-huh.
And I was in front of her car when the one behind her, who couldn't see me,
Pass.
and was on a cell phone and impatient, whipped around and hit me dead on.
Oh my goodness.
So people need to realize that if a person's in a wheelchair, just leave them alone.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless they are asking for
Right,
help.
right, right.
Because I've had people almost hit me, you should see where I live.
Just trying to be overly courteous.
No,
To
because
let you
most
across?
people, I think it's one of those things they taught us about in sociology classes, that there are people who literally cannot see a person in a wheelchair or a fat person
Right.
because in our society it's not okay
Mm-hmm.
to be overweight or to have a disability.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, you literally become invisible to them.
They just tune it out.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many cars have almost hit me
Mm-hmm.
right on the street where I live.
Oh goodness, Cheryl.
And in the high rise I live in, just this past year, 4 people got hit by cars.
Goodness.
And it's not a really busy street.
Mm.
So, you know, I don't know if we'll ever solve this, but I personally would like to see more media attention in the public.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I have thought about doing, just never acted on it or had the money to, is make some little stickers that just say, just ask.
Mm-hmm.
You know, put them on your chair, put them anywhere. Just ask. That's all a person has to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pretty much tell who are the people who really want to help. Those are the
Mhm.
folks that will ask
Yes.
and then listen to you.
Right.
The ones who want to go ahead and do, you know, start putting their hands on you anyway, they don't want to help. Those are people with control issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to control somebody weaker than them.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, my mouth is bigger than anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, those I guess are my worst pet peeves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of simple annoying things.
Yeah.
You know, if I've got the door open and I'm fixing to come through and somebody has run across the room to stand in my way, to hold the door open
Mhm.
that I've already got open, and now they're in my way and I can't go through the door. You know, and people kind of get upset if you say, would you just move? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to stop and be nice to them. And I think a lot of it's just that people don't think.
Right. Right.
They don't think about a lot of things. When I first got involved in the disability community, I used to get real upset about badly made curb cuts and things like that. Until I finally realized one day, I had made friends with a person who was blind. And I had never considered what blind people have to go through.
Oh goodness.
Until I had a friend who was blind.
No doubt.
But what I realized was people really don't think about things they're not personally involved with.
Exactly.
And I have to tell you, the first thing I think about is not what a person who's blind has to go through. I'm going to think about it quicker now that I've had friends who
Mhm.
have visual impairments, but it's not the first thing I think about. You know, first thing
Right.
I'm thinking about is mobility
Yeah,
disability.
because that's your experience. Yeah.
Right,
Right.
right. So I think pretty much if people just I think it's a matter of respect.
That
And
we should honor each other for who we are,
Right.
where we are.
I love people that want to help,
Okay.
You're through,
but
okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Because I've got to go.
Okay. Cool.
See you.
All right.
I love people that want to help.
Mm-hmm.
They just ask.
Yes.
It's
just
so
like that.
simple. Just 2 words. Just ask.
Yeah.
And that is for anybody, person with a disability or not.
Mhm.
Do you need help? Would you like some help?
Yeah.
No, thank you. You know.
No thanks. I'm good.
Yeah, and then don't
Appreciate it.
keep trying to grab my stuff.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly, yeah.
So, or put your hands on me.
Yeah.
That's a no-no.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's standing up face to face with somebody else who's a stranger is going to get very irate if that stranger starts putting their hands on them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But a lot of people seem to think that if you have a disability, that gives them the right to do and say anything they want to.
Right.
And that's not respect.
Yeah. They have to honor us too. Thank you,
Anyway,
Cheryl. I appreciate you.
Thanks for coming up. I hope it doesn't take us, what, 3 more years? I think the last time I saw you was when we did the little filming at the library.
Right, the MLK, the Long Road Home.
Long Road Home.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.